Right, I've been dying to talk to you about this. Well, I was going to say for about 3.5 hours, but let's say about 12 months. At the beginning of 2020, just before everything went upside down, we had a guest on the show and he's just stayed with me ever since. We met Nav Sawney from the Washing Machine Project. And if you don't remember, Nav is an engineer and he created a washing machine for people in refugee camps and other people around the world who were so desperately vulnerable and the most basic things in life escape them. He invented a hand-cranked washing machine for people who have to wash clothes by hand. It was piloted in a refugee camp in Iraq. And the great news is he's now secured funding for expansion. Now, we followed his story ever since he came on the show last year. And we were so excited to hear how well he's going that we've got him back on. Nav, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Louise. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you. I may have had a little bit too much coffee, so apologies if this conversation is a little bit highly strung.
No worries. It's great to be back on.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you. We've been thinking about you so much over the last year, but if people are joining us now and they don't know about the Washing Machine Project, give us a quick rundown of how this came about, because you were inspired, weren't you, by seeing what women go through, and then you put your engineering head to good use.
Yeah, that's true. I was on sabbatical from my career in engineering here in the UK. I was in South India, making clean and efficient cook stoves for people who cook with solid fuels. There I was living in a very rural village, and my next door neighbour, a lady called Divya, everyday struggles with cooking and cleaning and fetching firewood and hand washing clothes, inspired me to create solutions for her. And so I made a promise to her to make a manual washing machine to alleviate the burden of hand washing clothes for her and her family. And that promise has really stuck, and we've never looked back since.
I would love to. I wish that I could talk to her right now to find out just how proud she would be of what you've done. Obviously, you've made sure you've really stuck with this project and made sure that your washing machine is accessible to some of the most vulnerable people around the world. You've now got new funding. You've been discovered, Nav. What does this mean for the Washing Machine Project?
Yeah, we've interviewed thousands of families right across the world in 10 countries. And to be honest, every interview, every conversation that we have with these families is a promise. And, you know, we really owe it to these families that we talk to day in, day out for a better solution to their existing problems. And so, yeah, we take a very user-centered approach into our design and our process. And so over the last year, we've been working really, really hard. We're a volunteer-led organization benefiting from, 5,000 hours of pro bono support from right across the world. And Electro Components, an amazing organization, got in touch with us, and they really see and share the ambition to inspire a more sustainable world through innovative solutions. And so, yeah, they've chosen the Washing Machine Project and the Washing Machine Project Foundation in a 3-year fundraising partnership that will result in 7,500 washing machines in 10 countries, benefiting around 100,000 people, which is just phenomenal, because all I wanted to do was make a washing machine for my friend Divya.
That must have been such a moment for you. Was it quite emotional, Nav?
Yeah, I cried.
Oh, did you? Oh, Nav. Oh, don't you make me cry. Stop it. It's just all too emotional. When you found out, and obviously you were very emotional about it, who was the first person that you told?
I told my mum.
I thought that.
I don't know if you remember, but I actually quit my Dyson job here as an engineer because I didn't want to make vacuum cleaners for rich people all my life. And I wanted to make solutions that really help people around the world. So my mum at the time, she was quite nervous, but now she's very supportive, and it came full circle, especially being brought up in a lone parent family with my mum. I know the power of women. So I think it came full circle for me.
That's why I had to ask you who the first person you called was, because I remember a very amusing stroke, tongue-in-cheek, stroke a little bit naughty chat that we had when your mum was like, "What are you doing? You went to engineering school and now you're doing this." On a serious note, obviously the whole world has been ravaged by COVID-19, particularly deprived areas, particularly people who suffer socioeconomically. I can imagine this has had a huge impact on your work at a time when people really need it. How has it worked for you the past 12 months?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that the funding for aid overseas has been cut by 0.2%, especially funding for water, sanitation, and hygiene projects. But I think people really recognise the benefits of solutions like the washing machine projects, and the pandemic has had a detrimental impact on women, putting back decades of progress in development. But I think it's as we come out of this pandemic, and it's still rolling on in different countries around the world, I think it's up to all of us to come together and create solutions for people who really need it, because it seems like a very abstract concept here in the UK. We're quite lucky, but actually there's a lot of suffering around the world, and people could really benefit from our support.
And even if you don't think about the bigger world, even if it helps, just think about how annoying it is when your washing machine breaks and you can't get an engineer for 2 days. Imagine how frustrating that is in our very privileged country here. I appreciate not everyone has every level of privilege, but essentially we are very, very lucky to live in this country. And the basic system of having a simple working washing machine is something that you just take for granted every day until it breaks and you realise just how frustrating that is. Now, times that by about 1 million, and then you probably can understand technically how difficult it is. We've just had a call. I don't know who it's from yet. I think Glenn is typing it up as we speak, and he's saying, I remember that my mum had a hand cranked washing machine 60 years ago. So you're bringing back some memories and helping with that as well. Thank you so much, Nav. So if people are moved by what you've done and inspired by the washing machine project, is there anything that the good people of Cambridgeshire can do to help you right now?
Yeah, absolutely. You can support by donating to us. If you just search the washing machine project on a search engine of your choice, you could find us and donate to the project. You can go onto our website, thewashingmachineproject.org, and it has a donate button there. £50 to donate to a washing machine for someone in a refugee camp who has suffered so much. I think it's really about talking about the problem, advocating for the washing machine project, and really helping the lives of people who really need it.
Nav, as always, it's a pleasure to be with you. I'm so chuffed that you've been discovered in terms of this new funding, because you've been doing such unique and brilliant work. And hopefully we'll speak again in less than a year, but next time we speak there'll be even more to celebrate.
Absolutely. We're going to Iraq in August, so I'll give you some feedback from that pilot then.
Please do. That's Nav Sawney there from the Washing Machine Project. Hope you have a lovely rest of Sunday, Nav.
Everybody, rock your body.